Hey everyone, Justin McLennan here from RolePotential, an organization dedicated to transforming sales by realigning roles with clarity, confidence, and purpose. And I'm really excited to share a new tool that we use, we love with you today. But first, let's talk about why we created it. So in sales, the biggest obstacle isn't always your worthy rivals or the prospect's budget. Sometimes it just comes down to trust, because without it, momentum dies, but with it, everything can accelerate it. And here's why: because when trust is not present, that's when friction is going to show up. And friction is that force that really kills our momentum. There are five types of friction: emotional, your doubt, your fear of risk; your cognitive, your overload, your misalignment; your relational, your feeling of being sold to; contextual, past experiences get in the way; and finally, that psychological, which is where your biases are. And when those five come together, they can really make the sales process feel like you're trying to move a heavy boulder up a hill. The good news is friction doesn't last forever as long as you build and replace it with trust. And here's how. First, trust evolves in phases. Phase one, this is where the sales rep is trying to push that heavy boulder up the hill, as you can see here, because why? The prospect's guarded, the prospect is cautious, and all five frictions are very, very strong and present. But by beginning to build some rapport, you start to bring in trust, and that's what's going to help remove that friction. Phase two, all about credibility. Friction starts to soften, the boulders start still heavy, but as you can see here, it's rounded out and it's starting to move a little bit easier, and that's thanks to us building rapport, now us building credibility, and that trust even getting stronger. And once we can move past that, we move into phase three, which is all about collaboration. This is the point in the sales process where you can feel the friction dissolving, the momentum's kicking in, and that trust is really, really building. And this is where your prospect has become a champion. They're actually helping you. And then finally, phase four, the most important phase. This is where you're no longer having to move that big boulder. The boulder's rolling, the momentum's there. Prospect trusts you, you trust the prospect, you trust the prospect so much you're willing to walk in front of the boulder and just guide them all the way to the end. But this is really the point, and this is why it's so important, where sales transforms into a partnership. Because in sales, it's not just about winning the first deal, it's about earning the partnership. That's what we're going to see, that sustainable growth. So I'll admit it, I didn't always understand this, the importance of trust. I didn't get it early in my career. I was handed empathy mapping tools, definitely didn't have time for those, like every other sales rep who probably thinks that. Didn't really understand the purpose and why it mattered, but now that I've started using it, I can really understand its power, and the real purpose is it helps you move through those first two phases faster. That way you can spend the majority of your time speaking with your prospect in phases 3 and 4, and those are the phases where you're going to earn that partnership. And this, when I started to put it in practice, is when I really started to realize that empathy mapping isn't just a cool idea or strategy or a tool, but it's really, really a really important accelerator when it comes to winning the partnership. And that's why we created this simple empathy mapping tool. One, I wanted to remove the time constraints of having to go through empathy mapping manually. Wanted to make it super fast, easy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it for every prospect one after another. And then the second, it's because now I know the purpose. It's going to get those clear results, and I can really see how it works. So look how easy it is to use. So you'll go ahead, you'll fill in the little different fields here. Then you'll just click generate. Boom. It's going to give you some really great talk tracks. It's even going to give you some really strong open-ended questions, all with the purpose of helping you understand your prospects, what they're thinking, what they're hearing, what they're saying, what they're telling themselves, so you can really put yourselves into their shoes. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope you love it. Hope you liked it. If you want a link to it, DM me and we'll give it to you. Thank you.